police, they're the ones that are coming through your door and dragging you into war if we go to war with Russia. They're not going to stand there and go, oh, hi, Darren, we'll give you a bite today. You know, it's the same establishment that's being targeting me as a kid. It's the same establishment that's going through your door if you're getting dragged for war. The police don't think it's anything else. It's what the police is. The police is a street military. It's all the police force is. Street military. You don't see it. Why? Because like I said, in the 90s, 95, they changed their angle. They knew we can't be like this because it'll go off every time we have a confrontation. We need to get gullible aunties, gullible sisters, gullible uncles who are nice, polite family scousers, loved in the community because they're good neighbours. We need these sorts of people to police their communities. Why? Because it's less confrontational. The lads on the estate are going to be less confrontational with that woman from Southport who sounds like the mother. Do you get what I'm saying? But if the real police turned up in the Matrix vans every time, or the OSD vans, or the neighbourhood policing vans, or the firearms unit, or MI5, it's all police. MI5's police. MI6 was police. Doesn't matter how they've got levels. Just like organised criminals have got levels. You've got street level policing, you've got street level dealing. You've got middle level policing, you've got middle level dealing. You've got high level policing, you've got high level dealing. Then you've got next level. Do you get what I'm saying? Then you've got a whole different infrastructure. And when you see, like I said the other week, when you see Trump going through Venezuela, Colombia, going through all these countries that produce cocaine. He's not going through the countries that produce heroin. Why? Because they're already locked down. You know, they've already got them routes, the heroin routes. If you look at the countries where he's targeting, and if you look at this group that he set up called the Americas, which is all the leaders in these cocaine-fueled countries, they only exist because of the cocaine production. The only reason because of the cocaine production. So all these countries, America now control them. So America basically control the cocaine supply around the world. The cocaine supply around the world, America control. Right? That's fact now. They've just done it blatantly in front of you all. Now, for that cocaine economy, for the money in that economy, because it's in the trillions, it's probably worth more than a normal economy, the drug economy these days. That's why they've pushed it. It's why everyone's got an addiction. It's why everyone's on a substance. It's a big market for them. So he's got control of that now. Now he's going to need certain power bases around Europe and around the world to make sure this business, this drug business, runs smoothly. This isn't like a business on your estate. This is talking billions of pounds in through Dubai, every country, through America, through Great Britain. It's probably going from Great Britain, from Dubai into Great Britain, into America, cleaned. Do you get what I'm saying? But now you've got people like Daniel Kinahan, and you've had Daniel Kinahan on the Americans' watch list for a couple of years. And everyone around who was competition to Daniel Kinahan sort of become Daniel Kinahan's associates 6 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it was. So his competition in all these European countries, he's managed to get them on side and become this sort of outfit. Now this outfit's dominating everything around Europe, mainly the cocaine supply. So fucking all of a sudden now, the Kinahan firm get mad warrants put on them. £500,000 bounties and £5 million bounties and shit put on them. Within a couple of years of them bounties getting placed on these, his local firm got nicked, meaning all the kids from Bromsgrove, Liam Byrne, all these heads got nicked first. You know, he sacrificed them Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And then his firm around Europe, whether it was Italy, France, Germany or Spain, all them main heads on his level in them cities and that, all nicked, every single one of them nicked, all going through trials, all receiving jail. Him, his brother and his dad, not nicked. Think about it. The auto pen shout by Trump. Biden issued the warrants for the Kinahans. Trump's already laid the foundations. This is why you've got Conor McGregor in the White House. Why do you think you've got a woman beating, steroid abusing, coke sniffing Irish MMA fighter that laundered millions and millions of pounds for the Kinahan cartel? Why the f*** do you think he's in the White House? There's conversations getting out there. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. UFC, suffer. You know, that kid in Dubai, that prince, he's Daniel Kinahan's best mate. He run MTK Global Dubai with him and all these events. When you see Fury going to Saudi, these are the Kinahan's events. So when you've got Trump screaming the auto pen that Biden never signed the warrants, an auto pen was used to sign loads of official documents, and Trump saying they're all void. In them is the Kinahan's warrants. They're already free. That's why you're seeing them again pop up in Dubai watching fights and that. They've been given the go-ahead. So when you're getting Conor Ben getting given £15 million by Suffer, and you think it's Dana White and Kinahan's best mate, this is Kinahan again being given permission to be activated again. And watch, you'll see in a few years, if it becomes public that his warrants have been off, and the people in Irish, the Garda, they'll have warrants for them, but it won't be enforceable in America and places like that. It took me a long time to believe that the government's involved in the drug supply around the world. I was getting told that when I was a kid by these heads. It's only like the last couple of years and the moves by Trump now, which is firmly America control the cocaine trade around the world. Doesn't matter how many cartels are shifting it down here, down there. The minute it gets here, it's their market. Defo. Yes, Jota 20. Defo, mate. Without a shadow of a doubt. You gotta. As I say, I'm looking at things differently these days. I don't look at things from a newspaper anymore. And that's what a lot of you are doing. You're getting your information from newspapers instead of opening your eyes, reading through the stories. A lot of you are so used to taking into account what people say. You're far from not taking into account what people say and taking into account the meaning of what they say. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you need to look past the smoke screen. There's a smoke screen. You know, you can practice it on your street level, and then you'll recognise it over there. If you practice what I'm preaching, you'll start to understand what I'm saying a lot more. So look on street level. You haven't seen this lad for time, all of a sudden you see him and he's asking you about someone. That's an example. You know, he's asking a certain thing, but he's meaning to get a different thing from you, if that makes sense. How are you, Poppy? So look, it's like the story. You're looking at the story instead of who wrote it. So when you're watching a film, the majority of what watch the film get caught up in it and won't even know who made the film. Will yous? Like how many of yous have been watching Coronation Street and you don't even know who produces it, even though it tells you at the end of every episode? That's the point I'm making. So you're taking everything as face value. You're taking everything face value as if it's your wife who you've married and you can trust with your life. And when your wife who you've married and you can trust with your life says something to you, you take it face value. You don't question it. Why? Because you know it's the truth. She's not going to lie. Everyone's using that same sort of mentality with Ed Miliband. Ignore what he was chatting 10 years ago when he was under Tony Blair, screaming Iraq wars. Now we're taking like he's this big energy czar and he cares about the planet and he cares about humanity that much that he want to instill solar panels and fans on our farms. Soft cunts are taking them as face value instead of looking at where the Ed Miliband come from. Now what you've got on your telly, on your 3 news channels, let's call them what they are these days, 3 political broadcasting channels. That's what they are. Sky News, BBC News, GB News. The political broadcast, you turn your news on now, what are they speaking about? Politics, establishment, horrible, powerful, rich, posh bastards that use their power to ruin our lives so we don't realise what the fuck they're doing to us.